Hello students. So students, in the previous class we had completed the chapter and that is gravitation. We discussed the numericals which is related to the gravitation, the formula by the help of which we are able to solve the numericals of the gravitation chapter. In this year, students, even in the deleted syllabus, you see flotation chapter has been deleted, which is just after to that of the gravitation, include thrust and the pressure, as well as Archimedes principle, buoyant force, or that of a buoyancy. So, for that reason, again we will start with the chapter, student. Again we will see this chapter, that is motion, which is the first chapter of that of the physics. So you see students, here the name is given and that is motion. What do you understand by motion? Motion, basically there are two types of object. One which do not move. Do not move, it means remains stationary. And the another one which used to move, that is change its position. So you have seen students that if you talk about a tree, so tree is what? It does not change its position. It does not change its place. So it is a kind of an object which remain at its place and do not change its position. It remain fixed at its place. That is the tree. But if you talk about the animals, so animals they used to locomote. Locomote, it means they used to change the place they used to move from one place to that of the another place. Not only the living organism, student, but the non-living organism. You see, car is there, bus is there, train is there. All of them they used to change its position from that of the one position to the other position. So they used to move or they used to change its position. Okay. Okay. So we can say, student, car is there, buses is there, aeroplane is there, etc. Trains are there. So these are the objects, students, which used to change its position, which used to move, or which show the motion. Okay. While if we talk about the trees are there, plants are there, they do not change its place, they remain fixed at a place, and that is why we use a term for it, that is stationary object. So one object is there which remain at its position, that is known as the stationary object, and the other one is there which used to change its position, and that is known as the moving body. Okay, so on that basis, we can say that there are two types of objects are there. And if we talk about the moving body, student, they are having a characteristic that they used to move from one position to another with respect to time. Okay, so we can write it. Moving body, moving body changes its position with respect to time, with respect to time. Okay, so this is the basic characteristic of all a moving body, that when they used to move, they used to change the position, and this position change occur with respect to time. Okay. There is another definition of a moving body, that we will say a body is moving if it is changes its position with respect to a reference point. With respect to a reference point, here we are taking the reference point as a stationary object. Okay, so first of all we will write the definition. That is, so we can define that, we can say that a body is said to be a moving body or in a motion when, said to be in motion when it changes its position, it changes its position, when it changes its position, with respect to a, stationary object, which is taken as a reference point, which is a reference point. Now, what does this definition explain, student? Let me tell you about it, and then we will move forward. So you see that here we are saying that a body is said to be in motion if it is changing its position with respect to time. Okay, and in this one, students, you see here we are taking a stationary object which acts as a reference point. So with the help of a reference point, we can say that whether an object is moving or not. For example, if a house is there, okay, and a car is going through a road which is we can say that the house is present just beside to that of the road. So we can say in front of the house road is there and the car is moving in it. So we can say that the car is moving with respect to that of the house, because the house is what? It will remain at the fixed position, and car is what? It started from a position and finally it starts moving and it crossed the house. So on that basis we can say that this object is what? It is a moving object or it is in the motion. So by taking a reference unit, we can say an object is moving or not. If we take a tree, so if a tree is there near that of a platform, so by taking that tree as a reference unit, we can say that whether the train is moving or not. Okay, so if the train is not moving, how can we say if it is remain present near to that of the tree? If it is passes through that of the tree, students, we will say that it is moving. Okay, so on that basis we can say that an object is a moving body or object is at motion by taking a reference unit, and that reference unit is a stationary object. Okay, so this was about that how can we see an object is a moving, or how can we see that an object is at a rest position, or an object is not moving, or the object is at fixed position. So you see, students, if we talk how can we observe that an object is moving? So we said by taking a reference unit. Now, if an object is there which is moving very, very slowly, and an object is there which is moving fast, If you compare both of them, student, in which one you will find that motion is there or the body is moving. If suppose an object is placed here and a road is there, and this object is first it moves to here and then to here, then to here, and one object is there which is placed is here, and after a few time it is there, now it is here and now it is here. So which proves that what? It is changing its position. It means it is comparatively faster than that of the slower one. So by seeing the speed of an object, we can say that if an object is moving fast, then it is very easy for us to observe the motion of the body. It is very easy for us to say that the object is a moving body than in case of a slower object. Okay, if an object is moving in a slow movement, if it is moving very slow, it is quite difficult for us with that of the fast moving car or fast moving vehicle to say that it is in the motion. But if an object is a fast moving vehicles are there, so by looking at them, student, we can say that it is in the motion. Okay, so we can write it. If a body moves fairly fast, we can say that the object is moving. The object is a moving body if it is moving faster. Okay. Now, and we can also write it that if an object is there which is moving slow, then it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult to observe the movement immediately. The movement immediately. Okay. So it's a very good example, students, in this one. That is a very familiar example for us is clock. You see, student, how clock, you know that the clock is having minute hand, it is having hour hand as well as second hand. So you see, hour hand is what? It moves very slowly as compared to that of the minute hand and that of the second hand, while the second hand move very fast. So we will see the two hand of the clock, student, the minute hand and the hour hand. If you see, in case of a hour hand, it moves very slowly. So is it possible to see the movement immediately in case of or to recognize that it is in the motion immediately? No. If suppose you are having a time, if you are having a watch and you are not knowing that whether the watch is working or not, and if the second hand is not there, then you have to wait that when the hour hand will move from one place to another, then only you can say that it is working. right? But if you see, in case of a second hand which is present in the clock, while looking at the second hand as it move fast, so it is very easy for us to recognize the movement of the hand very easily. Okay, so one hand is there which moves very slowly. That is why it is quite difficult for us to observe that this particular hand is moving. But in case of a second hand, since the movement is quite fast as compared to our hand, so it is very easy for us to recognize it. So when you see the second hand, it moves in the time, students, in that of the time clock. So you can say that the clock is working. But if only hour and minute hand is there, so you have to see it properly, that whether the hour hand is moving or not, and only then it is we can say that this clock is working and the hand is moving. Okay. Now students, if you want to understand the meaning of the motion, so first of all, we have to understand the two things. That is distance and displacement of an object. Okay. So now we will move forward and we will try to understand the distance of an object and that of the displacement of the object. So to understand the distance and the displacement of the object, students, we will try to understand it like this. Suppose a man is there and he is going from a place and that is A. Okay, so a man is there, he is living at the place that is A, and then he move to a place, to his friend place, and which is at B, and the distance between A and B is 5 kilometer. Okay, and then from that of the B he goes to the C. And the distance is 3 kilometer. Now you see what I am saying, that if a man is there and he is living at a place that we are considering as an A place. Now he wants to go his friend's place, and for that, first of all, he travel from A to B. That is a distance of 5 kilometer, and then he travel B to C, and the distance between B to C is 3 kilometer. Okay, so first of all he will goes to A to B, and then he went to B to C, which is the other direction. Okay, now the question is that what is the total distance traveled by the man? Now you see student, here the man is changing the position, because at first he was at position A, but after a few interval of a time he reaches to the B, and from the B he reaches to the C, that is at his friend's house. Okay, so we can say, what is the actual distance which is traveled by the man? So what is the actual distance, students? Distance is A, B, C, right? The path along that of the ABC travel will give the actual distance traveled by the man. First of all, he goes from A to B and then from B to C. So we can write it here, that is the actual length is 5 kilometer plus 3 kilometer. That is equals to 8 kilometer. So the distance, the actual distance which is covered by the man from A to B and B to C, that is equals to 8 kilometer. Okay. Okay, so if we talk the actual length, students, so actual length is 8 kilometer. Now again, if we try to understand the question, so you see we said that it started from A to B and B to C. Now if this man who is living at a place A wants to reach to the place, the friend place which is at a position C, so what will be the shortest distance that he should take so that he will directly reach from A to C? So you will say that this is that shortest distance which can be traveled by the man, and that will be equals to 4 kilometer, and within the 4 kilometer traveling this is what? It is the shortest distance from the A to C, that is from the initial position to that of the final position, and this position help in giving the shortest distance. So on that basis, we can first of all, let me write it, the shortest distance between A and C is equals to 4 kilometer. So this is what, students, this is the actual length. It means this is the actual path covered by A to reach to C. And this 4 kilometer is the shortest distance traveled by A so that he will reach to his friend house, that is C. Okay, so on this basis, students, we can define that of the actual distance and that of the displacement of a body. So here, with the help of example, we are looking for the distance and displacement. When a body moves from one place to another place, the actual or the distance traveled by the person gives the actual distance. It gives the actual distance traveled by the, that actual distance by the person gives the actual distance or actual that gives the actual distance, okay, of a path. Actual length or that of the actual distance. And next one is the straight path. The straight or the shortest path between the initial and final position, initial and final position, called displacement. That is called as a displacement. Okay, so by this, student, we have understood one thing. Distance is what? The actual distance traveled by the object. You see, he started from this place, reaches to this place, come to this place. Ultimately, he have to go to place C, but in between, he went to B and then to C. So this is what? It is the actual distance covered, actual path covered by the person. If we see the shortest or the straight path from the initial to that of the final position, that is this 4 kilometer. So this is what? This is the displacement, and this one is known as the actual length or actual distance. Okay. So this is what, student, this is the distance or that of the displacement. Distance is what? The actual path covered by the object to travel from one position to the other position. That is the total distance covered by the object. So this was all about that of the distance and the displacement. Now you have seen here, student, one thing. When we are saying the shortest distance, it means that it is having shortest distance. It means the distance traveled between the initial and the final position, that will define the shortest distance. On this basis, students, we can say that distance and displacement are having two different type of a quantity. So if you see the distance here, students, so distance is a scalar quantity, while displacement is a vector quantity. When we talk about the scalar quantity, what does that mean? Scalar, it means which is having magnitude only. Magnitude only. But no direction. But no direction. Okay. So in case of a scalar quantity, student, it is having only magnitude. When we talk about the magnitude, what is the meaning of a magnitude here, student? It means size. So it is having only value, it is only having size, but since it is not explaining about the direction in which the body is moving, that we will call it a scalar quantity. Although, student, when we talk about the scalar, it means no direction has been mentioned, only the magnitude has been mentioned. So we will call such quantity as a scalar quantity. And next one is the vector quantity. So vector quantity is what? Which is having both magnitude as well as direction. So magnitude as well as direction. So if both of the things are there, student, they will call such quantity as a vector quantity. So one is a scalar quantity, another one is a vector quantity. When you compare these two quantity in the distance and displacement, what will you find? You see, student, distance is a scalar quantity. It means distance is having only magnitude but no direction. But in case of a displacement, it is having magnitude as well as direction. So magnitude and direction both are there in case of a displacement. I'll tell you with the help of example, then you will be able to understand it properly, that how can we say that a distance is a scalar while that of a displacement is a magnitude. So if suppose a student, if I am saying that if a car is there, is traveling to 50 kilometer on road, and if a car is moving or is moving to 50 kilometer at east. Okay, 50 kilometer in a straight line in east direction. Straight line in east direction on road. Now, what is the difference you are seeing in these two statements, student? In the first statement, I am saying that if a car is there and it is traveling on road to 50 kilometer, means it is traveling to 50 kilometer on road. And the second one I am saying that a car is there which is moving on the road to 50 kilometer, but in a straight path, but in a straight line and in east direction. So you are seeing that the difference between these two is one is telling the specific direction. One is more specific than the other. Here the car is traveling. It is traveling at a 50 kilometer. So magnitude or the value is given, but in case of the second one, direction is also given. So if we talk here, we are talking about the distance, but here we are talking about the displacement. So distance is what? To placement. Distance is what? Which involve only the magnitude, but displacement is what? Which involve both, that is magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so in the next class, students, we will try to understand that how the displacement and distance, they differ from each other, and is it possible that distance can be 0 or displacement can be 0? If not, if yes, then what is the reason behind it? Okay.